Hello, everyone. I'm Mr. Macabre, and welcome back to my movie library. We're going to go ahead and go back to the shelf. This is, let's see here, the third part one of shelf number 3. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what all I got. And I figured today, being the 50th anniversary of Jaws, would be, the right day to do this. So I figured, yeah, and ironically enough, let's get started because the first movie that is on my shelf is Jaws. I know that they just put out a new 4K. I know it's supposed to be like a new 4K transfer. Honestly, I really don't think I'm going to be picking that up. I really love this edition here. I love the lenticular cover, the slipcase. As far as I'm concerned, I think this transfer does me perfectly well enough. I just don't think I really need the other one. I don't know. Just to me, this is perfect. I'm perfectly satisfied with this. And happy birthday, Jaws. The start of the blockbuster, the movie that really put Steven Spielberg on the map. Like, wow. Almost ironically, well, I don't know, but a story about where the making of the movie is almost as entertaining, if it, some instances even more entertaining than the movie itself. But yeah. Just Jaws, great movie. I have to admit, though, I was kind of surprised. Like when I was a kid, the first couple of times I watched this, I couldn't get into it. I don't know. There's something about it. The first movie that I actually watched, the first Jaws movie I actually watched was Jaws 3 because we went to go see that in the cinema. And I liked that one. But this one here, it took me a couple of watches. But I don't know. Maybe just when I saw it, I just wasn't, wise enough to appreciate what this movie is. I do now. Now I think this movie's a masterpiece. I think it's brilliant. But I think just, the first time I watched it, I think I wasn't mature enough to get it, But anyway, so yeah, Jaws, perfect movie. So glad to have it. And like I said, I don't need to upgrade. As far as I'm concerned, the 4K release on this will do me just fine. I'm happy with it. Well, y'all already saw what the next one's going to be. We got Jaws 2, 3, and 4. Jaws 2, pretty good, solid sequel, I think. I'm one of the few people that actually like Jaws 3 because, like I said, I was a little kid. We saw it in the theater, had the 3D glasses, had the whole experience. And from that angle, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. So, yeah, Jaws 2 and 3 I like. Jaws of Revenge, I'm in the same camp with pretty much everybody. This movie was terrible, So... yeah, but anyway, so yeah, Jaws 2, 3, and 4. So it's nice to have, but it's nice to have the entire collection, all of them on 4K. So happy about that. This here, wow, this is a nice addition. We have JFK on 4K, and there we go. Like this thing has all the bells and whistles. Like, good God, this is like a 4-disc set, I believe. Yeah, I think so. 2-disc. Yeah, this is a 4-disc set, man, for crying out loud. I think they put a more like a streamlined standard version of this out. But yeah, really, really good movie. I saw this in the theater, watched it multiple times over the years. VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, everything else, like this is, I would have to say this is probably my favorite Oliver Stone movie. I do like a lot of his films, but I would have to say, yeah, JFK does have to stand out as my favorite movie of his. So much so that it's like, even though I have this, I still keep this. Yeah, I have this collector's edition. I've had this for many, many, many years. I know it's just the movie on Blu-ray and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm holding on to that mainly because there's documentaries and like movies in here, like PT-109 and stuff like that. There's movies in here that are not available. I think you maybe get them like Warner Archives on DVD through Warner Archives, but there's stuff in here that's, some of it's not even available. So that's why I hold on to this. But yeah, just a gorgeous collector's edition. And like I said, yeah, JFK is, easily probably my favorite Oliver Stone movie, even though I do like other movies of his. So here we go. All right. I have the Lord of the Rings extended edition on Blu-ray. I did find a set of the 4Ks. This was a while back. I found a set of the 4Ks for cheap. I found them in a pawn shop. Tried to watch them No, just whoever had them just damaged them, so I had to get rid of it. So this is my Lord of the Rings collection as for now. But still, a really, really good, worthy collection. The extended editions. Right now, I'm actually like on Audible in my car on my Bluetooth. I'm listening to the audiobooks for Lord of the Rings. I did The Hobbit. I did Fellowship of the Rings. I'm now getting into the Two Towers. And talk about being naive, man. I'm not even joking. I figured I held off of reading the books for the longest time because I figured you got these movies here. You watch the extended cut. Shit, the extended cut, each movie is like 4 hours. So you're sitting there thinking like they had to have done a great adaptation of the books if, each movie is like that and everything else. And people, even fans of the book really praise this movie and stuff. I mean, I've heard some people say, you know, the movies definitely don't compare to the books, obviously, but when I started listening to the audiobooks, it stunned me how there is so much stuff in the book that is not in any of the movies and how different some of the scenes turned out. So it's like, yeah, cannot believe that I could be this naive, but I don't have the Hobbit set. I need to see about getting on that, but yeah, but wow, just talking about being so naive, so gullible. But anyway, so yeah, here you go. Got Lord of the Rings, the extended edition on Blu-ray. So yeah, the nice box set here. Funny thing is, I remember how expensive the thing was when it first came out. I'm not even joking. I can go into my record store. I can go into one of the bookstores that sell movies and stuff. You can pick this up between $20-$25 now. How crazy is that? I mean, this thing was like at least $100, I think, when it first came out. Now it's like you walk in there, shit, $20, it's yours, So anyway, so yeah, got the Lord of the Rings extended edition. Yeah, I picked this up for $20. Here we go. Easily one of my favorite George Romero movies. Definitely up there on my favorite vampire movies of all time. We have Martin. This gorgeous edition from Second Sight. I got the 3-disc. It's got the Blu-ray, the 4K, the CD soundtrack. You got the booklet and the cards. The nice big fat box. What they call a chunker. From Second Sight. But just, I love this movie. Really good transfer. Great special features on it. Everything else. Just this movie, I watched this movie a lot when I was a kid. There was just something about this movie just drew me in. I thought it was just such a well-made movie, a well-told story. I think that the main thing that, like, it was such a unique take on the vampire myth, the vampire legends and stuff. And, of course, early work by Tom Savini, it's like, so just multiple reasons. But, yeah, Martin has definitely become an absolute favorite of mine. I'm trying to remember who it was. I saw a video recently. Somebody, I don't know if it was Mid-Level Media or who it was, but yeah, somebody, this movie's not good. And it's like, I agree to disagree, okay? This movie, I think, is awesome. Definitely one of Romero's absolute best films. I'm just disappointed we weren't able to, get to see that 3-hour cut that George Romero originally made, But anyway, it's better than not having it all, so anyway, so Martin, beautiful edition. This was a gift from my brother on Christmas, and I'm so happy to have it. We have the Marx Brothers Silver Screen Collection. This comes with the coconuts, animal crackers, monkey business, horse feathers, and duck soup. I need to get going. There's some other Marx Brothers. I don't have Night at the Opera. What the hell kind of a Marx Brothers fan are you if you don't have Night at the Opera? But I don't have that. So I need to get going. I really need to get going on some of my Marx Brothers movies. Yeah, I am a fan of the Marx Brothers and stuff. I am a fan of like a lot of the comedy comedy legends back in the day. Marx Brothers, Little Rascals, Abbott and Costello, stuff like that. I am a fan of a lot of that, so anyway though, yeah, but the Marx Brothers, there you go. Beautiful. Love this collection. Great movies, lots of fun to watch. So yeah, just a wonderful time. And, I don't think my brother watches my videos, but if he does, Bill, thank you for this. Anyway, here we go. God, this is such a beautiful edition, man. Oh, this is so cool. We've got, is this from TF, I think? Anyway, we have Mausoleum. Fun cheeseball possession movie. Just not great, but it's not terrible either. This is the one I believe the creature is actually the female, like succubus creature in this movie is actually played by William Vale, who played Kirk in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I believe this is a movie where that's the case. But yeah, just a fun woman becomes possessed, turns into a succubus, taking out men and left and right kind of movie. And the funny thing is I remember the first time I watched Jennifer's Body made me remember this movie because to me it just felt like some of the stories were similar, or some of the parts of the story were similar, But yeah, just this is a fun movie. I always had fun with it. It's definitely not a grade A Academy Award winning movie by any stretch of the imagination, but for me it's just cheeseball fun, So I do enjoy this movie, and this is a gorgeous edition of this. So yeah, really, really love it. So Mausoleum, a lot of fun. Have fun with that one. There's one here, I just showed this a couple of days ago when I did my 4K Collector's Edition video. I have the Mel Brooks collection. This is really, really nice edition. It has, lots of his movies on it. We have The 12 Chairs, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, Silent Movie, High Anxiety, History of the World Part 1, To Be or Not to Be, Spaceballs, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. So yeah, I mean, just how could you not love this? Beautiful edition. And even though I just got, Blazing Saddles on 4K, I'm definitely not getting rid of this. Because God knows, I mean, I know Spaceballs. I know Kino Lorber did Spaceballs on 4K, but these other movies, who knows if and when these will ever see the light of day on 4K. I do remember, I mean, I love Mel Brooks movies, one movie that's not here that I love, Dracula, Dead and Loving It. I love that movie. I watched that twice in the theater. First time I went, I remember like back in the day when that movie was first found out that movie was coming, I was like, you have got to be kidding me, man. A Dracula movie with Leslie Nielsen playing Dracula and Mel Brooks playing Van Helsing? I am going to the theater to see that movie. Come hell or high water, I'm going to the theater to see that movie. Went to the theater first time to see it with my mom and dad. Loved it. Thought it was great. Just loved every minute of it. We laughed. We enjoyed it. Just had a wonderful time. Then, talked to my brothers. They decided they were going to go to the movies to see it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see it a second time. So yeah. So I watched that movie twice in the theater. But yeah, unfortunately that's not in this set. But still though, love Mel Brooks. Love his movies. Love the work he does and everything else. I'm kind of curious about the whole Spaceballs 2 thing. It's like, I'll believe it when I see it. But anyway, so still, this is a great set to have, and I'm very lucky to have it. So, and like I said, this ain't going anywhere. I'm not getting rid of this anytime soon. So, yeah, the Mel Brooks collection, you bet. Oh, yeah. Sorry, just need to... just need to wet my whistle there for a minute. This is my... I know that they put out like more fancier editions since then, but this is my Men in Black... Men in Black, was this 20th anniversary set? The 4Ks and the Blu-rays. So, definitely times have changed. Because here's the first movie, and then you got the... that's the thing, and here are the... like the 4K, let me see if I can get one. As you can see, there's a 4K disc. It's stacked on top of the Blu-ray. So, yeah. So I know much better editions of this have come out since then, but so we got, of course, you got Men in Black 2, Men in Black, Men in Black 2. I am a fan of these movies. I really do enjoy them. Men in Black 3. Men in Black, was it Men in Black International? Not so much. Didn't care for that one. Sorry. Yeah, just didn't really do it for me. But anyway, the first 3 Men in Black, love this trilogy. It's great. I still love this set. It's a beautiful set. And, yeah. So, there you go. There's that. And now we move on to, let's see here. Got this. This is from Radiance. And my friend Rob from VHS 82 Apostrophe, I know he loves this movie as much as I do. This is Messiah of Evil. This is a beautiful, beautiful edition of this movie. I knew I wanted this. This is a movie that I was absolutely surprised that I ended up really, really loving and enjoying. The only bad part is, yeah, these things are in there pretty snug. But, you got your booklet. You got the Blu-ray case, Does this have reversible? Not really. Not really reversible cover art, but this is a movie I watched. The first time I watched this years ago, on a crappy, it was one of those crappy DVDs that came in like one of those multi-movie packs. And I went into this thing, and this was just going to be so bad and stuff. But no, I actually really, really like this movie. This movie has a lot of atmosphere. It's genuinely creepy in parts. The scene in, the two scenes, like the scene in the grocery store is absolutely chilling. The part in the movie theater, I think, is definitely one of the scariest scenes I've seen in a movie in a long time. And yeah, I just really fell in love with this movie, and I really wanted a nice edition of it. Finally got it. There's a great edition of it. And crazy thing is, Willard Hayek, who directed the movie, and he and Gloria Katz wrote the movie together. And, and the funny thing is at the time he made this, the thing was George Lucas was getting ready to make American Graffiti, and he wrote the story, but he wanted Hayek and Katz to write the script for him, and they said no, and they turned it down so they could make this movie, So they did that, and then they got done. Got the movie done, everything else. George Lucas was still stuck on American Graffiti, so he went to them and said, could you guys, I took a shot at writing the script. Could you guys, polish it up for me so we could get ready to shoot it? And that was it. That was kind of interesting. I just thought that, at first that they turned down American Graffiti to do this movie, but it was a good decision. It was not a bad decision on their parts. But, if you haven't seen this movie, I say, yeah, at the very least, stream it. This is really, really a good unselling, I think some people might feel it's a little pretentious and artsy, but still, it's a really good film. Really unselling. But yeah, get a chance, Messiah of Evil. Check it out. So good. I know this is the part where everybody's going to accuse me of being a pervert, but yeah. Back on my old channel, I did a video because I got this box and I just thought it was just something different to talk about, make a different kind of video. So I got this in. This is the Nasty Habits, the Nunsploitation collection. This comes with Christiana, Devil Nun, the story of a clustered nun, images in a convent, and the true story of the nun of Monza. Yeah, well, sorry about that. I shouldn't have showed that. The hell was I thinking? But yeah, just, what can I say? Just, I do tend to be a sucker for some of these Severin and Vinegar Syndrome box sets, when you get these movie collections in, and I couldn't help it. It was just too alluring, and, I was like, well, it's Italian nunsploitation movies, like, yeah. So, I guess the less said about this, the better. Let's just move on. Okay. Yeah, we're already closing into the end of this. Okay, I got this. This is a beautiful edition. Then we have Animal House, National Lampoon's Animal House. Really, really fun comedy. I watched this movie when I was a kid when I shouldn't have been watching it. But yeah, really, really fun comedy. So much good stuff in this movie. Great movie. Very funny. John Belushi, legend in this movie. So many great scenes in this movie. The part with the horse, the horse in the dean's office. John Belushi in the lunch line while the song, I don't know much about history. Don't know much biology, Great soundtrack to this movie. You got young Kevin Bacon in this movie. Tim Matheson. Like, damn, this movie is so good, So, and to have it in this nice edition. Unfortunately, it's like, yeah, it's a very flimsy cardboard, but, you get the cool stuff. You get, like a Faber College, picture book here. Yeah. Great stuff. Meyer. Yeah. Of course, being a young boy going into puberty, the part where I know, like, that's the thing. This movie could never, ever be made today. Like people, they would blow a gasket if you tried to make a movie like this today. But the part where, John Belushi is on the ladder, he's a so he could watch the girl get undressed, and all that kind of. Like I said, you could never do that in a movie today. But as a young boy going into puberty, really appreciated that scene. And of course, you got the late great Donald Sutherland in this movie. I mean, what can I say about this movie? Got the great cards, you get the idea. Anyway, so yeah, just Animal House, one of my all-time favorite comedies. I've seen this movie so many times and probably watch it more times on. There you go. There's a steel book with like a matte finish on it. On the back, Faber College. Oh, wait a minute. Did I put my... yeah, for some reason I put my CD soundtrack in there. Whatever. Got a poster. And, yeah, I have this soundtrack on both CD and vinyl. There's your 4K, there's your Blu-ray, so yeah, so you get the idea. But anyway, yeah, Animal House, to me, one of the best comedies of all time. I love it. And, yeah, like I said, but, oh my gosh, like I said, yeah, there is no way in heaven, hell, or on earth you could ever make a movie like this anymore. Co-written by the late, great Harold Ramis, John Landis directed. Man, yep, classic. Love this movie. Here we go. We got this movie here, and I've talked about this movie before. We have the, National Lampoon's Vacation. Great movie, wonderful comedy. I've seen this movie. The problem is I've watched this movie so many times that I've actually burned myself out on it. I can't even watch this movie. It's very rare that I watch this movie anymore. It's not that I don't love it. It's not that I don't enjoy it. I do. Just the problem is I've watched this movie so many times as a kid, and growing up, we went to go see it in the theater. Watched this movie like so many times that I can't watch it anymore. I've burned myself out on it, and watch it over and over and over again. But, great movie, it was like Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, written by John Hughes, directed by Harold Ramis. Just so many great people in this movie. Anthony Michael Hall, Christy Brinkley, It was like, I remember that was kind of funny. I remember like back then people were, what was such a big deal about Christy Brinkley? She ain't much. I was like, I don't know. I like her. I don't know. She does it for me. I don't know what to tell you, but, but anyway, so I remember my dad being like, yeah, Christy Brinkley, whatever. I like Beverly D'Angelo better. I think she's better looking. So to each their own, different strokes for different folks, as they say. But yeah, just a great overall, great movie. I love it. It's just so good, and I'm happy to own it. I'm happy to have this edition, even though I do admit I probably won't watch this movie very many more times in the near future, just because I watched it so much. But yeah, just a really good film. Really good. So yeah, National Lampoon's Vacation, can't beat it. I love Vacation. Liked National Lampoon's European Vacation. Like, that was okay. I like that better than most people do. It's not great, but I mean, it's okay. Christmas Vacation I adore. I think probably Christmas Vacation is probably my favorite one. Yeah, if I had to rank them, I'd probably be like, best Christmas Vacation, then Vacation, then European Vacation, then Vegas Vacation. And I don't even count the reboot. So, but anyway, so yeah. And last but not least, you guys have already seen this. If you follow my channel, you've seen this. I just did a video on this not too long ago. To round out the shelf, we have the New Extremity Collection, Volume 1. I did a video where I went more in depth on this one, but there you go. Those are the movies. You got Martyrs, you got Frontiers, Anatomy of Hell, and High Tension. So yeah, beautiful set. Really hope that Umbrella will do a Volume 2 here somewhere down the line, But yeah, this one, because it's so big and fat, this took the last bit of space on my shelf. Well, that's it. So that is, part 1 of Shelf 3. So I hope, if anybody took the time to watch this, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, would you please like and, subscribe? I thank you sincerely for watching this video, especially if you followed all the way through. And that's it, everybody. Take care. Have a good night. See you all later.